Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So let's get started. I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is leading you out of the dark. Doopy doopy doop doop doop. Ah, doopy doopy doop doop doop. Ah. No more I love yous. Oh, that's sad. I just realized. I just realized that's so sad. Okay. Um uh Okay. There's something shifted in the energy. I don't know what it is. I don't know. You know what it is? I just had my first round of sublingual 5-MT methyl some I don't know what it's called, but it's methylated supplements to help with detoxification, and I think I like it. I think I like it. This like yucky fog type feel that I've had for Michael says Michael says that it's more than just the new supplement. I know. I know. I had a conversation with my besties this morning, like a short conversation because I was already at the gym. Um and there was like a needed and loving pointing out of the fact that if there's a threat to my family, my community, really anybody, I'm like, I'm on it. Absolutely no tolerance. But then when there's like a threat to me, it's kind of like, yeah, well, that's, like, girl. um, and it's this thing, right? It's this thing that we as empaths do. I know I'm not the only one who does it, but I need to work on that. I need to work on that. And I am. The current circumstance, uh, within a 12-hour period, yeah, about 12 hours, within a 12-hour period, I had already connected with those who could usher in a feasible resolution. So that is shifting, but I think that's a dark space for empaths to exist in, a space where everyone else is important but us, right? And I'm absolutely guilty of that. And another thing that I know empaths are, myself especially, guilty of. One of my besties also had mentioned, like, yeah, it seems as though um they probably have just exposed themselves uh, for their true nature by doing this to you. And don't you go feeling bad. Don't you go feeling bad about what they did to themselves. And I'm like, I know, of course. Because that's the cycle. I see the value of people, even when they can't see it, even when their blindness to their own intrinsic value causes them to lash out. I still see the value in them, and I don't understand. Like, why would you need to do all that when you already have so much? And it could be exponentially expanded if you just focused on what you're doing. Like, there's no need to spread any of that. And because so many people function in that way at this point, where their insecurities cause them to covet, and that covetous nature causes them to lash out, even at complete strangers they have never interacted with, it's tainted spaces that were once set aside to be sacred. And so now there's a darkness that's spread through so many different communities. I am very, very thankful, beyond thankful, to be honest, that our community doesn't have that problem. It doesn't. And it leads me to this realization that the mark of a true leader is in how they can sustain long term the peace of their people, the peace of their community. The mark of a good leader, a healthy leader, is one who will not needlessly encourage, invite, incite their people to launch a war campaign against the stranger. The mark of a good leader is someone, when there's conflict, the leader takes care of it and allows the community to know, guys, it's okay. There will be a resolution. Don't mirror that. That's not us. We will not backslide into that space that most of us have already exited out of, leading you out of the dark. For the most part, in our conscious mind, we've already let ourselves out of that dark space. We've already begun the very difficult process of shadow work, self love work. We've reduced the frequency and intensity of the episodes of self abnegation that we have. It's probably still there to some degree, but not as intense, and just because it's there doesn't mean you failed. You're progressing. That's the most important part, the progression, the continued growth. And so part of the way you lead yourself out of darkness at this point is by recognizing how much you've come through. You have come across a space or traveled across a space where every part of you has been challenged. You look at your life from this point all the way back to, let's say, 2020, when things first started rapidly changing in our societies. How far have you come? How much further do you want to go? Focus on what you want. There was this instruction from Soul yesterday. I was in a session, and I love my sessions. Oh my God. I was in a session, and it was this thing of realizing the person that I was having the session with. Um, they've, for the most part, placed everyone's needs before their own. They're working on it. It's a work in progress. And I had started an exercise where it's like, close your eyes and where do you see yourself? Not in 5 years, not in 10 years, not next month, just when you close your eyes and you breathe, where do you see yourself? What environment are you in? And if you guys were to do that, like breathe, center yourself, close your eyes, and just allow your soul to show you a visual, right? Whatever your soul shows you, it's one of two things. Where you will be brought by soul, that in time, at some point in your life, that's where you'll be. Or that is where you're at, and that is why your soul wants to get you out of that, because that struggle that you have begun marrying yourself to at this point is not for you. That's not yours. Stop owning the toxicity that was placed on your shoulders by someone else. Allow your soul to show you where it's taking you. And between this point and that vision that you were given, allow soul to guide you every step of the way. You have no idea how it will unfold. All you have is a promise from soul that if you listen, at some point where I showed you is where you will be, literally be. That's a powerful thing to experience. that realization, that your visuals, these visions that soul shows you, it's not a daydream. It's soul kind of just reiterating, hey, remember, I promised you this. I haven't forgotten. We're working towards that. Okay. Please stay on board. Please stay on time, and there's no timeline that's set by another person. Ooh, hot diggity damn. Y'all. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm just going to drink some detox tea. This potent is banging. Sometimes soul is like a banger. You know what a banger is? You're not part of that culture. You might not know. I don't know what a banger is. This is a banging ass message because soul is a gangster. Baby, you're a gangster too. Baby, I'm a gangster too. And it takes two to tango. Ooh, oh, y'all. Let me get to the message. Someone is completely upside down in their shadow work. I'm assuming it's being directed at you, right? Their intention is to create instability, insecurity within you. There is a masculine Lord energy watching, waiting. It's almost like, give me a reason, give me an excuse to defend that which I love, that which I have promised to protect. Oh, see, this is gonna fucking me. Okay. He watching. Look how intense his gaze is. I'm serious. This will change everything. Here's your hint. I'm not even joking. That's the message. This is a key player. He's not upside down. He is not upside down. He is very well versed in whatever this is that's taking place. That is one formidable protector. Formidable. So there's an awakening that you're going through. Not only are you going through this awakening, there are those who are very upside down in their nature, right? Oh, actually, this is a better card. They're very upside down in their nature. Feminine. This is a toxic person. They're very upside down in their nature, thinking and presenting themselves as something sacred, something goddess like, something of a lady when Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Okay. This is an upside down person. They're about to come to a very, very rude awakening. And the only reason it's a rude awakening is because they themselves are rude as fuck. Yeah. That's how that's playing out. And once all of that, it's a house of cards. Whatever that is a house of cards, right? It's a house of cards. And as that begins to get rickety and shaky and more and more and more is brought to the surface, all of the connections that's keeping that situation afloat, it's going to come crashing down. Because the reality of what's happening is going to hit all the strings that have managed to lift this erroneous thing to spaces it never belonged in. That's going to come crashing down. That's not something you necessarily have to worry about anymore. That's being handled. Soul has specified a person and they are watching, not watching you. I know people are watching me for sure. You're going to become a fan. Keep watching. I know you're spying. You're going to become a fan. You're going to see the person I actually am. And it's going to start to change you into more of your authentic self. Here's something that you need to know in advance. You've been told to watch me to try and gather what evidence? Evidence of what? Honestly, I don't even care why you're watching me, but you just need to know this. There's something extremely healing about my energy. You stay around me long enough, you'll begin to see through the fucking bullshit. If you want to continue being in resonance with your master, you might not want to watch me much longer. Ask anyone in my community. There's something about sharing space with me. It changes you into a more powerful person. And you start seeing through the bullshit. That's going to ruin your relationship. Ah! That's going to ruin your relationship with a master of yours. Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing, if you're going to continue to stay here, once you begin to actually see what's happening, you can't act that way anymore. We don't do that here. All of that petty, catty bullshit stuff, we don't do that here. That's not the kind of community we are. So, that's the bitch be gone spray. That's the bitch be gone spray being activated. The bitch assness has to be out. It has to be out. This is truly a sacred space. Um, I have plenty of people who watch me and have malicious feelings towards me, and they can continue to do that if they want, but this space is very sacred. And just know the grasp of darkness can't reach into here. Don't want to fuck up your relationship with your handler. So, thought I'd give you advance notice. It's not because I'm doing anything. I can't be bothered. I can't. I can't. Oh, guys, Michael and I were having a conversation, right? And it's totally like, I just don't understand how someone could involve an entire family just because they're having an absolute shit fit towards someone. Why would you involve an entire fucking family? And then Michael says to me, you'd never understand something like that because that's not something you do. Yeah, true. True. But here's the thing. Are we not progressing enough as a collective to be able to see that certain behaviors, you can support someone all you want, but certain behaviors just really are not acceptable? Certain behaviors just really, it goes beyond inappropriate and straight into wickedness, maliciousness, just yuck, yuck, just absolute yuck. And so that leaves the question of, have we set our intention? And I think one of the most important intentions we can set is how much permission we will give ourselves to enter into darker spaces and be a mirror of a lesser consciousness. Anyone who is so just full of outrageous, wrathful hate with zero provocation, I mean, I will never understand that. But I am also kind of a pushover. At times, you got to really push me for me to be like, oh, I fucking had enough. You do. You really ought to push me. I think that's going to change. It's already changing. It's already changing. Because the old me would have been like, oh my God, we don't even know each other. Just stop. The current me is like, "Okay, which lawyer are we involving?" Yeah, I'm impressed with myself. I'm progressing. I'm progressing. I think what we need to do as a community is really set our intent. Last night, as I was live for the first video, which ended up getting taken down because um, hearing a person saying with zero hesitation this admission that they've already worked on someone's entire family and they'll do it again. And all that person said was, "You lied about me." That really set me off. I don't even know that person. I don't. I've never interacted with them. I don't know them, but just the fact, the lack of integrity that I witnessed, like instant. And I'm really, really grateful because that distracted me just enough. When I surged, it fucking took out the Wi-Fi. Only to my computer though. Only to my laptop. Because my husband was in here and he was like, the box is still working. And I was like, fix it. That's why I had to end the live. And, in order for me to get back on, we had to just completely reset the router. And that gave me enough time and enough of a distraction to get in control of my feelings. It gave me a pause, a forced pause. I was put on timeout by Michaela over here. It gave me a time to pause and realign my intention with the reality of my character. Sometimes your intention gets skewed by the intense emotions that you feel. For some people, the intense emotions have to do with anger and other dense emotions. And those people need to work on that. And for other people, the intense emotions comes from a very intense sense of justice, what is right, a need to correct the injustice, the atrocity. But we need to always stay in our sovereignty. When your solution for the dark circumstance that you're dealing with is becoming a mirror of the inferior behaviors, because that's an inferior behavior. Anything that's designed or intended to tear something else down is an inferior behavior. That's a fact across the board. Okay. I'm not talking about a person. They wish I was talking about them. No. Community, you know how I always say, like, sometimes heinous ass people will be allowed to cross your path in order to be used as a tool. They're nothing but an impetus for a process your soul was already wanting you to go through. And the only reason that person was allowed to have access to you, even to the slightest inconvenient degree, is because that person has the willingness to be as nasty as it needs to be to trigger you to action, right? So that's all it is. It's partially a test to see if you can remember your true intention, your original intent, and how committed are you to your decision to remain in your space of integrity. As you guys saw last night, I struggled with that for a moment. I struggled with that for a moment. When the video paused, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking bind this yeah. And then Michael's like, you're gonna what? Nothing. Can you fix my Wi-Fi? And he's like, you're gonna what? I'm going to set the intention for my community. And he goes, yeah, okay, sure. You can sit there. And I basically really had to sit here. You can't just say that you intend something if you really don't. Soul knows, right? Soul knows. You have to truly mean it. You have to be genuine. You have to be genuine in your commitment to the intentions you've set. Your intention to not simply be a mirror, but instead to guide yourself out of those old cycles. Out of those old cycles. Hi, Iris. I don't know if you emailed the wrong email address. I'm going to put it in the comments. We didn't get an email from you. You might have missed one of the E's on Emmy Evolving. Okay, Pretty Enchanted. I know you're very triggered, and I know the behaviors that you've witnessed is really upsetting. A lot of people are upset. But could we please refrain from being a mirror of that type of behavior? Like, your feelings are valid, and I understand where the feelings are coming from, and it comes from a sense of witnessing injustice. But I'm encouraging you to lead yourself out of that. I'm truly encouraging you to do that. Truly. Um, it's a time for us to recognize when someone does something triggering. Yes, at first we'll be triggered because their behaviors are triggering, you know? But what ends up happening when we realize we've been triggered, we take a moment to breathe, we recenter ourselves, and we recall our sovereignty. We keep it sovereign. That means nobody will dictate to us the type of day that we're having, the type of feelings we will feel, the types of thoughts we will think, right? The intention is to really, this specific creator, their intention is to really just piss me off and make me wild out and this and that. I see through it. It's to the point where someone shared with me in the comments of one of my videos that they're even claiming that I use filters to darken my skin. I'm an islander. What are you talking about? Are you fucking serious right now? I use a filter to darken my skin. I must have cracked up. I must have cracked up. Look at this. It stuck to my face. Pressure, transformation, the pressure to get me to crack when I'm flexibly strong. No one decides how I'm going to feel about myself. Nobody decides that. Nobody. Nobody. I've been having an amazing day. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a sublingual supplements or it's just me finally realizing like, I'm sensitive to energies and people's intentions. I can feel them, but I oftentimes do not try and see the root of it because it's like, um I need to stop doing that because then it leaves access to me, right? It not all the way in, but it leaves some trace of access to me. And so when I finally allowed myself to be like, okay, that nasty, yucky feeling I've been feeling, I know it's not me. It's been putting me in a badass mood. I've been in a badass mood for how many weeks? Feeling the nasty. I know exactly where it's coming from at this point. And I'm like, yeah, no. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? I mean, I can tell when I'm presented jealousy from my eyes to my complexion. I can tell when a jealous person finds me attractive, more than attractive. I can tell when a person is so taken in by my internal and external beauty that it drives them wild in the worst way. Babe, I can't help that my mother is a beautiful woman. full of softness and grace. I can't help that the one who created me gave me the eyes to see, eyes that are not full of fake light, but a depth so deep. Those who have sins and skeletons to hide would turn around and try and say shit about me. My eyes are extremely beautiful. I never realized these things about myself until I was presented with so much hatred very recently. You don't often see eyes like mine, especially if I doll them up. Most people never forget my face. I don't necessarily find myself beautiful, but I know I'm not ugly. It's all external, anyways. All of it changes as you go through things in life. You see, part of the reason why I will never see myself as ugly has nothing to do with aesthetics. It's this full awareness of the way I move through my life, the grace, compassion, and kindness that comes out of me everywhere I go, no matter where I go, no matter who I deal with. That is the truth of me, and it is beautiful. The only people who cannot see the truth of who I am are the people who don't want to. And I'm not here to convince them of anything. I've led myself out of that dark space of needing people to accept me, needing people to like me, going out of my way to beg them with my actions of overgiving, over availability, begging you to please, please, please see some value in me. Babe, I'm valuable, even in the presence of those who don't understand that value. I was getting this question. Well, it wasn't a question. It was framed as a question, but it was actually an accusatory thing. Kind of this thing of, I'm a scammer because I don't give a refund when a student intentionally fucks their shit up. Okay, babe, even for a junior college, it's not even Ivy League, right? A junior college, you fuck up in your class, do you get a refund? You break the rules in class in junior college, city college, do you get a refund? So rather than being offended by the accusations, I was asked by Soul to lead myself out of that dark space of feeling irritated and see it from a different perspective. And I'm like, how would I see that from a different perspective? Hmm. The communication went something along the lines of, you've worked so hard to remain in a space of authentic, genuine humbleness. Humbleness is not a lack of awareness of your power, your purpose, your authority over yourself. Humbleness is an awareness of that and an understanding that does not make you superior. It does not give you permission to attempt to dominate others. And Soul helped me to realize I've done so well with the work I did to remain humble so that I never abuse my power. That confused people who have the blinders of darkness over their eyes think that I'm some simple content creator and this is some rinky dinky 2-hour thing where we're going to do some coloring book and you're going to have a little workbook that I've downloaded from somewhere else online. No. So then I got it. It's an ugly way to help me see something. It is. It's an ugly way to help me see something. But it's a powerful thing that I finally see. The intention of Soul with that particular trigger is to commend me for having successfully gone through the gauntlet of ego. Now I am fully assured within myself. I will never be corrupted in that way. I've wondered. I've made progress, and I'm like, that would be really hard to corrupt me like that. But now I know without a shadow of a doubt, and other people witness it, and in their witnessing of it, they get confused. Regardless of their intentions, I see what that dark space, that dark moment, that dark invitation to go and slip and slide through the wrong path actually is doing. It's letting me see how far I've come in my shadow work, in balancing my ego. I've come a long way. I have a lot to celebrate about myself. I do. How far have you come? If you can't gain a proper degree of awareness of how far you've come, how much you've progressed, how well you're doing in your journey, even though things are a little bit, difficult, it's a little bit of a challenge, then what will happen? You'll be presented with similar types of situations where you will be forced to try and see it from a different perspective or backslide and lose some of the progress that you've worked so hard to earn. Even if you backslide, it adds to your strength once you make up for the backslide, right? Once you double down on the task at hand, it makes up for it. You know, because I'm allowing myself to exist in a space of awareness, I'm allowing myself to exist in a space of truly claiming my space. I'm aware that someone is attempting more black magic right now. They just became aware that I was live. They're not in the live stream. They're watching from outside of it, thinking that I won't know. I'm aware. Nothing's getting in. No, you're not going to affect my community either. Ooh, mind of a Pisces. Let's see. Ooh, wee. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No matter what someone tries, when you are truly secure in your space and you truly believe the promises soul has made you to protect you, to provide for you, it's not a scary thing. It's not a triggering thing. I'm not even triggered. I think that supplement is really good. I'm not even joking. I think that supplement is really good. I feel so just balanced. And I've been fasting for 3 days already. Maybe it's the purgative effect of allowing digestive rest. I don't know. I don't know. And then adding the detoxification supplements. It facilitates the clearing of your detox pathways. I'm wondering how this thought applies to now. Maybe you need some type of rest, right? Like a break from whatever the circumstance you're dealing with is, so that you're not so overwhelmed with the toxicity. And as you rest, you'll begin to be able to clear more of that out, whether it's emotional toxicity, mental, physical, chemical. I mean, it could be anything. It really could be anything. Change is coming. And this almost looks like it's being suctioned, right? It's being vacuumed out, and she's just allowing it to flow out. I think that's what we need to do. I think that's what we need to do. Hmm. There's a lot of stuff going on. Um, it's not bad stuff that I'm picking up on. Well, there's folks who are trying to do bad stuff. It's not getting into our community. But there's a lot of stuff going on beyond the petty human bullshit that it's like a recalibration, like the Matrix when you see the codes coming down, but rather than codes, um it's like little cubes just tumbling down. It's a repatterning. Oh, similar to this, but it's like an entire curtain of it. See all the little dots? If they were little tiny cubes, like that. Transformation pressure. Ooh, that's why you're being pressured to transform. I'm thinking you guys are also in the same space or similar space that I'm in, where for a period of time you've been unknowingly resisting the transformation that you are already going through. And now the pressure is building to kind of push it through, to break through the membrane that you've somehow erected to keep you separate from that growth. That growth is yours. Don't be scared of it. That's like being scared of your shadow. That's like being scared of your shadow. Don't be scared of your shadow. I keep hearing that Beyond the Mysterious Beyond song from Land Before Time. Do you remember? Oh, I fucking love that movie. Don't lose your way with each passing day. You've come so far. Don't throw it away. Oh, that's such a perfect message. That's such a perfect message. But there's a part where I think it was Littlefoot or was it Ducky? I fucking love Ducky. Ducky was adorable. One of them were playing with their shadow, right? They're playing with their shadow. It's not something to be afraid of. We need to have like a group Land Before Time watch party. Oh, oh my God, that would be fucking fabulous. Wait, what's the date this Saturday? So, okay, community. For those of you who are part of the congregation space, um, let's pick a movie to watch once a month. Yeah. We'll watch it together in the sanctuary. Like, we got to pick something good though. I don't know. What movie would we start? I would love to do that. Where it would be something, ooh, what if we watched a movie that has intense predictive programming embedded in it and we could totally decipher that? Bitch. Oh my God. I'm not even joking because I'd be watching movies and I'm like, I know what they're saying. Ooh. Mm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay. We'll have to do that. I'm serious. We'll have to do that because it would give us all an opportunity to be able to see the same thing at the same time and give all the different perspectives so that we can create a 360-degree picture of what this predictive programming is trying to do. We're doing it. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yep. And I'm going to be laying on my big ass beanbag while we watch it. I don't have to be on screen, right? And I'll just be mute. But if y'all have the budget for it and the space, I will get that big ass 6-foot long beanbag. I didn't buy it. I don't have budget for that. But my adult son bought it for his little sibling who loves that type of thing. He got it for him for his birthday. I was like, how much did you fucking pay for this shit? And it's don't worry about it. Okay. Well, okay. It's your money. It's your money. But I love that thing. I'm always on it. Literally. I'm always on it. It's like a big ass bed. So, okay. Back to reeling back. Coming back from that side quest convo. Sorry. Companionship, animals. It's time for us to commune with each other. We are all animals, anyways, right? We're animals, we're mammals, we're part of the animal kingdom, animalia. And it's time for us to commune with nature. It's time for us to allow nature to filter for us what nature was designed to filter. It is not a coincidence that what we exhale, trees inhale, and what trees exhale, we inhale. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's a symbiotic relationship. And so you have to allow this exchange to occur. It's important at this point. You have all of this stuff that's kind of just like coagulating, it's getting stuffed up in your energetic field. And one of the easiest ways, and it's free, you just go outside. You go outside and you allow yourself to commune with nature. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to hug a tree, you can put a finger on it. I don't know if you guys know this. I have to move this guy because he always, it's a guy. This one's a guy. He always wants to touch me while I'm live. So I had to turn him. Um, he always wants to touch me. So I had to move my desk forward a little bit, my chair forward a little bit. This is how I'm able to center myself. Just, they take that from me. We have that type of relationship. I exhale that which harms me, and they inhale. It's a symbiotic relationship. So cleansing storms. There's a storm coming. Number 23. My birthday is on the 23rd. And Michael says I am the storm. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Someone's upset. They're getting all soggy from my rain. I don't even care to find out who. You're in control here. The rain always cleanses everything. It cleanses the land. Allow the rain to cleanse the landscape of your mind as well. There are light codes now trickling in, apparently. I was just told, and I'm feeling a tingle. I'm feeling cold. It's feminine energy. Feminine energy is trickling in. It's cold AF. I don't know if you guys are feeling it. I had to turn on my little heater at my feet. Oh my God. Okay. All right. You need to speak your truth. You need to use your voice responsibly. Oh my gosh, this is a fucking progression. Lordy Lord. "23, 24, 25, 26." This is a progression that's happening. The storm will come and the winds of change will follow it. The winds of change will be spurred by you speaking your word, using your voice. And the pressure that's placed will trigger a transformation. I want to ask my community, do any of you know a publicist that is very, very good and has a comparable energy and level of integrity as mine? I'm realizing right now I'm ready for that next step. If any of you know a publicist, please send that info to me, contact@meevolving.com, contact@meevolving.com. Okay. Um, the spiral dancer, circuitous route, perception. It could potentially be the support you're looking for. That's a notification that just came in. It could potentially be the support you're looking for. Confirmation is time for the next part. Soul be given instructions like its personal assistant or something. Michael says, don't be that way. I'm joking. Perception, circuitous route, the spiral dancer. This is upside down. This is referencing something who dances around the darkness that they do. They dance around the fact that the perception is so upside down that they're causing so much nastiness, right? I hope it's not you guys. I doubt it would be you guys. You guys have gotten pretty good at, really taking accountability. Accountability has nothing to do with blame. It doesn't. Accountability is about conscious ownership of your actions and the byproducts of those actions, the end result. It's about learning to master causation and effect. There's nothing wrong with accountability. Only weak people, only insecure people, only toxic as people refuse to take accountability. They always have an excuse for something. That kind of shit I'm so incompatible with. I'm so incompatible with that. Yeah. 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 Okay. Sorry. Conversation with Michael. The camel boy, small steps, asking for help. It's upside down. It's upside down. So this is someone who's ridden on the back of a person who can withstand a lot. And now they're about to be dethroned. They're about to be dethroned. Small steps, asking for help. They're going to need help because of all the shit they've done. And I think a lot of their issue is that they see how small their steps are in comparison to your giant quantum leaps that you make on an irregularly consistent basis, on a consistently irregular basis. Mika Ella, that sounds so oxymoron. On a consistently irregular basis. So there's no rhythm to your rhyme, but yet it rhymes. I swear life is living poetry. It just is. So that's that person, right? Camels belong in inhospitable environments. Whoever this person is in your life, they created a very inhospitable environment for themselves. And that's what the fuck they get. They continue to do it over and over and over. They created that. I have no pity for whoever that is in your life. And it's a thing of needing to make sure that your energy remains focused on your growth, your healing, you cultivating your access to your power even more. Ooh, the demons speak. There was something in one of the videos. Well, let's be honest. I've only seen 2 videos. I couldn't be bothered to watch more. I've only seen 2 videos of that subject matter. And I remember in one of them, it was something about being so fucking angry that I let you guys know that you're powerful and that your children are powerful too. They didn't like that. First, I don't give a fuck. You weren't even part of the conversation. Mind your own fucking business. What's that even got to do with you? Question. Question. Serious question. How many of you have felt that I'm speaking to you when I say you are more powerful than you realize and have been forced to purchase a session after I tell you that? Have any of you? Have any of you felt forced, coerced, pressured to buy a session just because I tell you you're powerful? I mean, I have a bad memory, but that just doesn't even sound like it's part of my character. When people have demonic things in them, because I'm thinking back several years ago, like, I don't know, 2012? It was years ago. There was this person that we would have intermittent, lovely conversations on Messenger and on Facebook. Um, Not in-depth conversations, but this was someone who's former military, and they were living on basically like a compound, or I don't know, they had land or something like that, and they were growing their own food. They were growing their own veggies and fruits, and then they also had animals. They had livestock, not a whole bunch of cows, but different types of livestock that are much easier to care for those who are just beginning like husbandry work and stuff. Husbandry is when you take care of your livestock, right? And they knew how to process the meat, they knew how to butcher, dispatch, all of those different things. And at that time, I was very interested in living off grid, right? It was like 20, maybe it was even 2010. I don't remember. It was many years ago. But those were our conversations. He was kind of just encouraging and, you know, and then sometimes he would share a little bit of maybe like what's happened in the day, or maybe a small detail about his earlier life and how he got into a specific subject matter. And, just being who I am, I would listen and just like how I am. I mean, that's how I am. And I would say things that were genuine but kind. And then one day, I don't fucking know what happened. You guys now see, like, I literally, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, where is this coming from? We never had an argument. Out of nowhere, this individual started with, I'm a CIA agent. What? That I'm a CIA agent and I was sent to infiltrate the prepper community. But I'm not even part of the prepper community. What? Yeah. And then they were saying that I needed to prove where I was when there was some like situation somewhere in Texas where federal agents had to take really extreme measures. It's like a Branch Davidian type situation. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but he was like, I need to prove where I was when that happened, because he believed that I infiltrated that compound and provided information to the feds because I'm a fed. I was like, are you okay? Like I'm genuinely concerned. I don't know where this is coming from, and I'm a little bit worried that something's happening to you. And then they like they totally cussed me out. I was being very genuine. I was like, I'm really worried for you. I have no idea what's going on. And they cussed me out. And then they said that um, there's no way I'm not a federal agent, highly trained CIA special operative, because there's no way a normal person who is not an agent would ever be that nice. I was like, wait, you're mad at me because I'm nice? He was serious. And I asked that. I was like, that's why you're mad at me? Because I was thinking I actually did something that I didn't realize I did to you. And his response was, mind you, at the time I was like 90 something pounds. His response was something along the lines of tagging like 4 of his military friends and letting me know that if I ever set foot in Texas, they're gonna fuck me up. And I was like, I know you said that to scare me, but it's kind of just like, were you not capable of fucking up a 90 something pound girl on your own? You needed you needed like 4 other ex-military friends to be there, like to protect you from me? Is that what you mean? I thought he was kidding because I was laughing. I didn't understand. I'm just like, what's actually going is this a joke? Like, you're joking, right? And he was just going on and on and on with the messages. Not messages, the comments. And I was just like, after maybe 30, 40 minutes, I was like, um, I don't think he's joking. I'm autistic. So I don't know when someone's joking and when they're serious. So I just assume everything is a joke. Like things like that. I would assume it's a joke. Like I was waiting for him to be like, I'm just kidding. I was like, this is so funny. And then I was like, wait, I don't think he's joking. And I kept asking, like, are you serious? Are you joking? Because I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. And then it got to the point where I believe it was my post, or was it his post? I don't know. I think it was his post. And he posted like a picture or an update about rabbits or something like that. I don't remember. That's one of the things he was talking to me about, how to raise rabbits as food. And I it was just like a nice comment, like, oh, it's going so well. And then he went off. And I was like, what? Are you joking? Because literally came out of nowhere. Um, I think people who get infected by something very seriously demonic, they don't like when you're genuinely kind, when you are genuine in your communication, when you can celebrate other people. Because literally the few, I didn't have a lot of friends on Facebook. I made it a point to keep my reach under like 100 or something like that. It was only when I began doing this work that I began accepting friend requests and made my profile public. I'm a very private person. I tell you guys that often. So it was like literally only 100 people, and these are people I would interact with all day. We were all homies, and everyone was like, what's going on. I was like, I have no clue. And they're like, he's hell out of line. What the fuck? He lost his shit. And I was like, I'm worried for him. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. What the fuck's happening with him? This is like a mental breakdown. Like, fucking something happened. He might be dehydrated, experiencing psychosis, and need medical attention. I was more concerned for him. And they, other people who knew him were like messaging me and like, I'm so sorry for him, on his behalf. Please don't take it personal. He's a vet. It might be his PTSD. I'm just like, please help him. Because I thought he was a very nice person. Very, very nice. Outside of that, I don't have anything to say bad about him. I don't fucking know what happened. But the fact that he was so bent out of shape, that I am a kind person, I say kind things. Looking back now, like, oh shit, he got possessed. He got possessed. I hope he got that out. I mean, I hope. He blocked me after that, and I was just like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to like see if he's okay. He doesn't want me to have interaction with him. I respect that. Right. And then fast forwarding, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years. And it's this thing again of like, because I'm speaking the truth in a kind manner, acknowledging someone else's power, someone else's sovereignty. Wow, that makes you angry. Why would that make anyone angry? Because I say that and there's no, as far as I can remember, there is absolutely no, oh, you should get this session. Sometimes when I say that, someone will ask, do you think I should get this session or that? And I typically tell people, you should get what you're drawn to. I don't want you to be dependent on me to make decisions. Your soul is guiding you to choose whatever you want to choose. Right. So that was a huge realization right now that demonic things, I'm speaking literally demonic things, they're getting really agitated that you are recognizing your power. You are recognizing your children's power. Yo, it's not a bullshit statement that your children are powerful. Go look that shit up. You can see so many videos on social media documenting these fucking crazy, crazy skills these very young children have. Telepathy, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, children controlling the weather. Like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's beautiful. I think we're progressing as a collective. And I think they, right, that demonic realm is absolutely pissed. They can't take on the children. Once the children are able to be exposed to individuals who have a similar code, what ends up happening is it fully activates their awareness of those abilities and they're able to harness it very easily. The recall is very fast. They don't have to be trained for long periods. It's just exposure to it. It jogs their memory and they're able to do it again. Wow. The focus of the attack on me. And I want to take the human out of that equation. I'm referencing specifically the demonic thing that is utilizing a human being to do these things, right? To launch an attack on me, to besmirch me, to cause a questioning and a tarnishing of me and the things that were brought up that are associated with me. So let's look at what was brought up. So much anger about my academy. Why? Why? Do I heavily advertise for the academy? No. Here and there. Here and there. But I don't heavily advertise for that. Whoever's drawn to it is there. There's been such an effort for a sustained period to negatively impact that academy. Why? Because I'm teaching fucking powerful things there. Powerful things. What else was mentioned? The sanctuary. Why? My congregation, my church. Why? Why was that attacked? Because it's a sacred space. It's being established as a template going forward for the way divinity is experienced for people across all nations. You know what else? I've been in the process of creating a Sunday school for the children. Their energy matches mine. Being exposed to me triggers the return of their memories. I wouldn't have to do much to teach them. That would be free to all congregation members, your children. They'd have access to that. It's part of the Sunday school. This attempt to keep me so busy, so preoccupied that I can't finish that. Is it making sense now why this is happening? Dark things will consistently point out to you the most important things your soul needs you to remain focused on. How does it do that? It attacks it. It tries to vilify it. Why, of all my programs, and I have quite a few programs, why was a certification program the one that was so heavily demonized? Why? Janet brought up last night when we were speaking as a community that there is an animal rehab program, and it's $8,000 for that program. $8,000, and they don't learn nearly as much as what I teach in my certification program. Why is darkness gunning for my program? Because I'm bringing back the old guard. There's quite a few of them already. I kick everyone out, right? There are quite a few. The old guards are here. And it will continue to grow in number. Ooh. EB says my aesthetics program was about 9,000 in 2010. How many hours was that program, EB? I'm super curious how those requirements have changed over the years, because it's been quite some time, 14 years. Did they add more hours to that? Oh, not to mention, see, and this was what was left out, and it's quite possibly the most valuable thing. Oh, thank you for that, EB. Thank you for that. Thank you. I'll put it on the screen. One of the most valuable benefits of my certification program is that once you successfully certify, and no one who's attempted the final exam has failed, not because I pass people, but because they're so well prepared. They are so well fucking prepared, right? So it's this thing of once you successfully certify, the next cycle at the level you've successfully certified at. So we'll use level 1 as an example. There's multiple levels. You successfully certify at level 1. Every single cycle that comes after yours, you can join. You can be part of class. There's no additional fee. It's a continuing education. It's like taking the program all over again, because guess what? Although the course content is set, it continuously gets adjusted every single new cycle to account for the differences in energy. You know, demonic things continue to progress as well. They continue to transform as well, their consciousness, their abilities, the frequency pathways that are used. See, people don't understand the degree of advancement that I have, the level that I operate at. So it's at 100 now. It was 80 when you started, but then it transitioned. I was looking into a masseuse program. I was just curious because I was talking to a really good friend. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's a lot of fucking hours. I think it was something like 1,200 or 1,500 for that specific state. I know states are different, but I was just like, fuck. That's going to take forever. And the programs were like 15,000, 20,000. I was like, shit. That's extensive training and expensive as fuck. I hope the program is good. I didn't realize it was so intensive to become a masseuse, a massage therapist. Mhm. That was very fascinating for me to be aware of. Okay. The High Lady of Love and Compassion, reverence, kindness, consideration. Ooh, they want to corrupt that. Dark things want to corrupt that. They want you to be acting like a low, less than lady without love and without compassion. They want you to forget your naturally existing reverence for divinity, for sovereignty. They don't want you to express kindness. They don't want you to be considerate, right? Oh, let me take that. Sorry. I forgot the comment was still there. Ah. So don't do that. Don't fall for that, right? Don't fall for that. Don't. Have you ever, I'm sure there has to be another public figure. Have you ever had like a social media person who has any type of following um be insistent that when they are attacked that their community don't engage that, and just really like don't engage that? Because I don't know, there has to be other people. There has to. Maybe there's not a lot, but there has to be. I'm not that unique. There has to be other people. What I'm wondering is this: the ones that say don't engage it, right? I'm wondering if there's that attempt to try and force engagement to feed off of those people, because they would be a comparable community to ours where, there's integrity. pay attention to what you see on social media, not just this circumstance, but just pay attention because there's going to be a lot of bickering between people. That's going to drain so much energy. I'm like, fuck that. I have shit I got to do. I got shit I got to do. What? You want an exchange? You want interaction? Purchase a session. I was going to piss them off. Yeah. You want to argue with me? Purchase a fucking session. Okay. Is that a new offering? Is that a new offering? Es posible. No, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, you would just have to be willing, like you would need to be okay with me making you cry because motherfuckers, I'm fucking savage if I really want to argue with someone. Ooh, Aquarius cuss, bitch. That will eviscerate you verbally. You won't even know what the fuck happened. Years from now, you'll still be trying to process what the fuck happened. I ain't about to touch you. You pair that Aquarius cusp with a Capricorn moon, Capricorn Venus, Aries midheaven, Mars soul planet, bitch. That would be like that would need to be separate. That would be like a masochist session, like verbal masochism. Like, hurt me, Emmy, with your words. I'd be like, you hairy donkey ball. Infertile donkey scrotum. Because then that makes you useless, right? Oh, shit. Okay, stop it. My mind is telling me no. But my body's telling me yes. I don't see nothing wrong with some verbal lashing. Let me quit messing around. All right. The Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. It's in reverse. Y'all, people going to be trying to present themselves as the Swan Queen, that they know about transformation, intuition, and patience, but they have no motherfucking clue. None at all. Did the screen just turn bright? I wonder if that registered. Some people would think that I'm trying to look at the live stream via my phone, and I'm just kind of checking something else. Yeah. Anyways, what? Bitches? Bakit why? You gotta review that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that video. Oh, because I'm being truthful? There's nothing wrong with that. It is perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, no, someone's trying to fake the front, but it's in reverse, so that's being exposed right now. The Metal King, discipline, armor, and boundaries. There you go. Okay, metallurgy comes to mind. Why? I know what it is, but why? Concerned with the properties of metals of production, purification. Your metal, not metal, mettle. Ooh. A person's ability to cope well with difficulties or to face a demanding situation in a spirited and resilient way. It's a purification of that ability. It is your adaptability. It's being purified. Ooh. Let's see. Ooh. Metallurgy is defined as a process that's used for the extraction of metals in their pure form. Your pure power is being pulled to the surface. low cost, minimum effort. Oh, oh. I got all excited. I thought it was for me. Michael goes, now's the perfect time for you to. Anyways, so several things that I have to share. I got so caught up in what I was, I got so caught up. So here's the thing. Okay. Um, Part of what's happening right now, this whole message of metallurgy, um, metal, purification of that, bringing to the surface your power. First and foremost, morphogenetic fundamentals workshop. For me, these are very basic fundamental techniques. For even advanced Reiki masters, this is an advanced class. Anyone is capable of taking this. Anyone. It's 50% off right now. It's going to be on the 24th of August. It says it on the thing. I don't know what date it is. I think it's the 24th. Go check that out. Okay. Another thing, metallurgy, bringing your gifts to the surface, your power to the surface. I'm going to be live tonight on TikTok. I'm going to be doing expedites. Well, that was another thing that they were angry about. My mind totally went on a side quest and I forgot that part. They were so pissed off about the expedites. Why? You're pissed off that a private service that would be $350 is now $33. You're pissed off. You couldn't say anything about that except like, oh, these expedites, she's infecting you. Oh, okay. Except I'm not. So the demonic essence, again, removing the human, right? The demonic essence that's encouraging that type of hateful verbalizations does not like the fact that I work on you guys in a way that is much more accessible for you guys. Even if you don't have a budget for tonight, I do expedites Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You just stack up your chips. Stack it up. When you have what you need, wait for that session that you're saving for and do it then. Expedites never go on discount because they're already so heavily discounted. But that's a much more feasible way to get whatever service you feel you need. Okay. Um, that's, yeah, that's why they want me off TikTok. That's why. And then again, the metallurgy, bringing that purified metal to the surface. My website is 50% off. Both the Emmy Evolving and the K33 Academy, they are both 50% off. The workshop, everything, 50% off, except the membership. That's not 50% off because that's a recurring fee for the monthly membership. We meet once a week and I teach for an hour every week. So that one will never go on sale either. It might increase in price, but it will always honor whatever price you guys are locked in at. So yeah. Okay. Is it okay now? Can I stop? I don't like sales stuff. All right. Let's see. When you can afford is when you actually need it. That's how I think about it. Yes. Yes. Oftentimes, people will sometimes get frustrated because they have to wait so long. They think that, you book a session and you'll have it that day, next day, maybe a week. I got a lot of sessions. My schedule is very compacted already. So there's a wait time. There's a significant wait time. And It's very rare for someone to be like, well, I don't want to wait. Okay. Okay. Sometimes I don't want to wait. Okay. I don't know the process for that. I don't know that policy by heart. My husband and my team do. Um, but most of the time, what ends up happening is, although you think you needed that right then and there, with that time that goes by the time you're sitting in front of me for your session, it's like, oh my God, I mean, you have no idea what just happened last night or yesterday. Like, oh my God, I'm so glad we're having my session today instead of back then. I'm like, I know, I know, I know. That's what often happens. One time there was this person, and this was the final straw for me to decide I will no longer be accepting succubus incubus sessions. I will not. I will, like, no, you got to get an Iowa mofo. That's on sale too. Um, so with that, the individual had purchased a session, and I think it had something to do with like dark matter clearing. I don't remember anymore. But right before they purchased that session, they had an extraction completed. It was complete. I was able to successfully extract. This type of thing doesn't happen very often because I don't advertise for succubus incubus because I don't want to deal with it. So that happened. And then they purchased another session and it had a dark matter clearing there. And it was like wintertime. And the earliest appointment that I had available for them, my husband was doing the scheduling, would have been April 8th. You guys remember what April 8th was? April 8th, right? I didn't realize it was going to be like a big deal. My husband doesn't, neither of us keep track of anything like that. So it was April 8th. And after a week or two, I don't know how long, I think actually immediately, I don't know the details, but they began with extremely, extremely abusive interaction, like disgusting accusations, just as like an attempt to Karen their way into an expedited appointment slot. And it's like, bro, everybody got to wait. Everybody got to wait. And I got to a point where they were like, Emmy is heartless. And I don't fucking know what they said. She doesn't give a fuck about people or whatever, something along those lines. And then they brought up like, I don't believe that she doesn't have the time because she can spend 2 hours on a live stream. She live streams every day. The time that I live stream, like right now, I'm supposed to be eating. I haven't eaten in 3 days. I don't know. I don't have an appetite. I should have eaten. I should have done schoolwork with my children. That's what's supposed to be on my schedule. But I've pushed that aside and moved things around so I could be here for the community, spend time with you guys as well. I did help my son with his homework right before I went live. Usually, when I'm late, I'm doing something with my family, trying to rush to get something done before the scheduled time. That's usually why I'm late. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, no, our policies, we don't tolerate like abusive interactions. These are some really serious accusations that are being lodged just to what? To force my husband to what? Overwork me? Already overworked. Like, no. So I was like, there's a misalignment. The expectation is misaligned with the reality of the business. That's a business aspect. You're trying to dictate a human's life. And long story short, had they just been patient and had their session when they needed to have it, I would have cleared the shit out of that succubus incubus issue. Eclipse energy. That's masculine, feminine energy merging. It would have cleared succubus and incubus simultaneously. You want to be like that, though? All right, fucking cancel your appointment. So cancel it. Go to someone else. That's not a threat to me to go to someone else. You drawn to someone else, go to someone else. You can get it done for cheaper, go get it done cheaper. Like, what do you want from me? That's my take on it. What do you want from me? Because I promise you, I don't think I'm going to comply. I don't think I'm going to comply because that's not fair to everyone else that's been waiting for as long as they've been waiting. Like, no. I respect everyone equally across the board, right? Had they waited. Yeah, it's sometimes hard to wait. It's sometimes hard to wait. Sometimes we're excited. I feel that sometimes. I feel that. But everything happens exactly as is for you. It's very common for my husband to have to make changes in the schedule, or someone will purchase a set of sessions and they want it arranged in a specific way, or my husband will just naturally arrange it in a specific way and they're like, oh my god, he set it up so perfect. I'm like, I know. I fucking know. There's times where I'm like, why would you put that there in the schedule? And then it's like, oh shit. Yeah, no. Good thing he was like, let me do my job. You do your job. I'm not allowed to mess with his schedule. It's his schedule. That's his shit. That's his schedule. And I just need to show up when I am needed to show up. Okay. So that's the thing. There's this um, very divine dynamic that occurs, not just between me and divinity, but between my entire team and divinity. Everything works out exactly as it's supposed to. And you know what would have happened? I think part of the reason, that example that I gave where the individual was like, just, if I remember right, what they were accusing me of, and that's when I was like, you know what, that's enough. They were accusing me of being supportive of spiritual grape. Let that sink in. They accused me of being supportive of spiritual R word. That if they didn't get the session they wanted at the time they wanted, because fuck everyone else that's been waiting too. That, yeah. Yeah. Great. I know everyone's like, what did she say? Yeah. It's so mind-boggling. Literally, I felt the energy of the live just pause, like, what? What? And of course, that person is gonna go around telling people that I'm a fucking bitch and and I just like I scam people and yeah. So that's what demonic things do. I'm not talking about the human that's being used by the demonic. I'm talking about the actual demonic, the essence. You have to learn to lead yourself out of that dark space because I already knew, like, nope, this is no. Like, there's a line that was crossed And that is just, there's an incompatibility. And because I'm the one canceling it, I'm kind of just like, no, no, just take that. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thanks. You can't allow yourself to get sucked into those dark spaces and again exist as a mirror of what? A lesser consciousness. A lesser consciousness will try so hard to dominate. It will try very, very hard to dominate. Give me 1 second. Excuse me. So some of the teachings for our church they're the deeper esoterica of Judeo-Christian and Essene Gnostic beliefs. Some of the complex and advanced teachings are how divine consciousness awareness frees us from the power of malignant darkness, self-abasement, self-abnegation, lies, sickness, and emotional torment. This leads to the understanding that to agree to processes that are against my sovereign free will is to subject myself to self-abnegation and create energetic imbalance that will lead to the manifestation of symptomatic presentation of actual physiological pathology. That you will make yourself physically ill at some point if you continue to reject the needs and the awareness of those needs as presented to you by your soul. God, the creator, has revealed himself to be eternally self-existent and omnipotent syzygy in three natures: creator, the pleroma, which is a fullness of divinity; creator, the kitsis, which is creation itself; and creator, the ion, which is life essence. My life is a fractal of the divine ion, and my life mission is to return back to at one-ment with the pleroma, which is the creator. Anything that takes from my divine sovereignty or negatively impacts the purity of my temple further removes me from my efforts to return to pleroma. These are the true teachings of Yeshua. This is what I remember. To remain in the grace of God, we as its children must live by the guidance provided us through scripture and ancient texts such as the Nag Hammadi, the ancient scriptures that focus on the living works of Jesus the Christ through his younger life. The manual of discipline, also called the rule of the community, which is an Essene manual. Diseases are created by deviations from the law, and to heal the diseases due to deviation require the curative powers of different herbs and plants, heliotherapy, hydrotherapy, and the proper diet for every ailment. The intentional use of unrestricted deep breath and rhythmic breathing holds the power to reestablish and restabilize the physical body, which is the acting body, by rejuvenating the cellular materials and increasing the spiritual power of the person. These are just the beliefs of our church. I'm not even teaching yet how to apply these beliefs in real life application. Could you imagine what I teach in my academy? Thought, and this is the most important part, thought is a superior force. Someone's like, she's reading from a book. This is something that I wrote. 1 second. I will show you what I'm reading from. It's the template I use sometimes if there's a complication in the vaccine exemptions that I write for my congregation members. I have the authority to do so. As the head of a religious organization, a faith-based organization, I have the legal authority to do so. I have the right to write on my behalf, on the behalf of my congregation member, to schools, to employers. I have successfully exempted quite a few people from medical practices that violate our genuinely held religious beliefs. What's on screen is unusable for someone who doesn't know how to use the information and doesn't have the federally granted authority to write on behalf of another individual. I have that. As I said, I'm not an influencer. I'm not. I'm so far more accomplished than I lead on. So far more. So you guys will have the ability to see this. This is important. Thought is a superior force, more powerful than the force of either feeling or action, because it is the instigator of both. The totality of an individual's thoughts is called his thinking body. Its individual function is to utilize the power of thought to guide and direct the currents of feeling in the individual's feeling body and the actions of his acting body. The thinking body can do this because it penetrates through and though the feeling and through the feeling and acting bodies. The thinking body is man's highest gift from his creator, for it and it alone gives him the capacity to become conscious of the law, to understand it, to work in harmony with it, to perceive its manifestations in all his surroundings, in himself, in every cell and molecule of his physical body, in everything that is, and to realize its omnipresence and omnipotence by becoming conscious of the law, by understanding it, by acting in harmony with it. Man becomes co-creator with God. People say we are living gods. How? Explain why. This is the reason why we are expressions of God. There's no greater or higher value in the universe. If man fails to become consciously aware of the law, he deviates from it unknowingly, for he is surrounded by fields of inharmonious forces prompting him to deviations. This is what's happening right now. You are watching this play out publicly with me as the target. An attempt to force the sacredness of our community to deviate from our sacred space, our sacred trajectory. These deviations create all the imperfections in his world, all the limitations and negations in his thoughts and feelings and physical well-being, in his environment, in society, and the entire planet. Every time man creates or accepts an inferior thought, he is accepting an inferior force into his world. The inferior force, according to the strength of the thought, reacts on his feeling body. This sets up an emotional disequilibrium in his feeling body, which in turn reacts on his physical body. And I teach how that translates into applicable biophysiology. Tell me again how my price is too much. I think I go a little too far trying to play normal. My mind does not function like a human brain. This disequilibrium automatically causes further deviations, further inharmonies, further diseases in the feeling and acting bodies. And these inharmonies, these diseases create an inharmonious atmosphere around the individual, which affects the thinking, feeling, and acting bodies of all others who are not conscious of the law and do not know how to protect themselves from receiving all those inferior thoughts created by the individual's single deviation in thought. It's an attempt at deviation. It's an attempt at deviation. And what you do with that attempt, how you allow that attempt to penetrate through, burrow through into your space, is going to directly affect your capacity, willingness, and desire to lead yourself out of the dark space. Wear your armor, and allow your metal to be purified. The map maker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, free will, but it's in reverse. There is something or someone wanting and waiting for the opportunity to take your authentic purpose and corrupt it, to cause you to turn away from your inspiration, to rob you of your free will. I gotta go eat. Intuition, self-worth, emotions, limitless world. Okay. Your emotions are going to bring to the surface of your awareness any issues you're having with your self-worth. Allow your intuition to guide you into a space of helping you to realize your limitless nature. You are actually limitless, but whatever limitations you believe in are the limitations that hold true for you. If you do not believe you can do it, you will not do it. No matter how hard you try, you will not do it. It will not happen. Remember, thinking, feeling, acting. Thinking, feeling, acting. And sometimes when you're dealing with something advanced in its demonic nature, its parasitic nature, it goes feeling, thinking, acting. Right? How much you want to bet a certain someone, or maybe several, will begin talking about this content very soon. It sounds very advanced, doesn't it? It's basics. It's what is seen children were taught from toddlerhood. It's a basic understanding of your function and place in this world. There's nothing advanced about it. Nothing. We've been so robbed of the information. You know why people are so pressed to try and break my arm off, twist it to the point it breaks off, so that I release all of this information to the public, so they could take it, pick and choose what they will bastardize and corrupt it. No, absolutely not. No. When I am tasked to protect something, I take that task seriously. I too am a guardian of old. I know I'm a guardian. And whatever I'm tasked to guard, I will. Fiercely. I will fiercely guard it. We need to allow ourselves to take a moment to recognize you are at the precipice. You are at the very edge, looking down into the precipice. You are on a huge glacier of a mountain, huge mountain of a glacier, looking down, and it's like you're looking into a void. What you're actually looking into is your world within your world. This aspect of you that is wanting and needing to come to the surface. And in order for it to do that, it first must invite you to dive deep into its depths. It must first do that. All right. Okay, there's going to be attempts to put heat on you. There's going to be attempts to renew whatever this upside down pattern is, right? They want to get to your core. They want to affect you so badly. They want to fragment you, break you apart into smaller pieces because they can't take you in your totality. But guess what? None of that is going to be successful so long as you have clarity. And you will have clarity if you listen to yourself, if you allow yourself to exist in a space of silence, stillness, simply breathing and allowing your thoughts to flow as your soul directs it to flow. You guys see this happen for me all the time. People will be like, oh my God, she has some fucking ADHD, like crazy ass ADHD. And it's like, no, it's a flow of thoughts. Why would I halt the flow? If I halted the flow and simply looked at the card and gave you a memorized meaning to that card that's been established by someone outside of myself, would you have received the message that part of the reason, majority of the reason, why something demonic is using a basic human to, I know that was meant to be cutting. I A travel partnership? You want me to be a trip leader? A paid travel partnership? Um Hosting trips around the world? We're just gonna star this really quick. Es posible. Possibly. Possibly. You guys want to do a retreat? I don't have a passport. My passport's expired. That's demonic. That was a total distraction. Had my thoughts not gone in the way that they went and allowed to wander, I would not have come to the realization that part of what's happening right now is really a covert attempt to attack the most powerful parts of what I'm currently offering the world, as though that's all I'm going to offer the world. I'm just getting started. So, all that's telling me is that I need to double down on my already existing commitment to protect and defend to the end the worthwhile, right? Right? Allow your mind to wander. That's how you get your answers to questions you don't have the courage to ask. Would I ask, why is this happening? No, I wouldn't. I don't know why I would be afraid to ask that, but I wouldn't. And then there's this channel that I follow, 223. Okay. Bitches, this is too much. I think I'm supposed to travel. Wait, you're putting too much on my plate. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. There's just too much. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's too much. So much instruction. If at some point I do end up having a retreat, um, it's potentially going to be abroad if that invite for a partnership, travel partnership is something I feel is aligned. We are eventually taking a retreat. I don't know. People just been acting so fucking weird with me. I don't know if I want to be traveling abroad and, like I don't want to have to like defend myself and stuff because I will absolutely defend myself. Yeah. Mm. So I'm also thinking of creating merch. Not a whole bunch of different things, but a specific type of merch with a very powerful message on it. I hope you guys keep an eye out for it because I think it's something that serves as a really good reminder. So I have to go through the different legalities to get that on and going. It should be fairly quick, but look for that. I'll make another announcement when it's time to release it. And then I'll be live later this evening. I hope you guys can make it. If you can't, it's okay. For those of you who already purchased expedites for Tuesday, last Tuesday, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to do Tuesday or Wednesday, but I sure will be doing it today. So if you guys can't make it, it's okay. We'll timestamp it. If you can make it, whether you bought an expedite or not, I hope you join.